Now, you guys understand that when it comes to trying to capture content for your PlayStation, for your Switch, your Xbox, your other PC, if you got a dual PC setup, there is a plethora of options out there. And there's a lot of companies that are making capture cards. And one of the ones that's always kind of innovating, and not kind of, they really are. They're innovating constantly because they also had the world's first ever HDMI 2.1 capture card, is none other than AVerMedia. But if you're someone who's trying to get into capturing content, maybe you want to get into streaming, maybe you're doing compilations, whatever it is you're trying to do, AVerMedia has you covered. Now, this is one that I've always recommended. This is the Live Gamer Ultra. This right here is just amazing. It's simple, plug and play. It lets you get in and out and do what you need to do. But this has been out for a couple years, and now its successor, the Live Gamer Ultra S. This right here is this on steroids, because not only do you get the capability of 4K pass-through, 4K 60 pass-through, which you could also do with this, but you can do 4K 60 capture. It also has 5.1 digital audio support, and it also allows for VRR capture, which is so good. The VRR, a lot of people think, oh, it's a bit of a gimmick, but it's something very important. This has VRR support on it. It also allows you to do 1440p at over 120 frames per second and 1080p up to 240. It is crazy. Let's go ahead and, well, I would say unbox it because I've already done it, but you know, we got to go through the usual thing, and we'll get on into it. Shout out to AVerMedia for sending this over to me. And if you want to pick this up, links down below. All right, let's get into it. In today's saturated capture card market, AVerMedia continues to carve out a reputable niche, establishing itself as a reliable partner for content creators and streamers seeking cutting-edge technology. Their newest product, which is this right here, the Live Streamer Ultra S, solidifies this reputation by offering a highly adaptable and feature-rich solution for high-quality video capture. This device is impressively compact. The dimensions of this are similar to the standard deck of cards and connects to a computer through a USB 3.2 Type-C cable. What sets the Live Gamer Ultra S apart is its permanent 4K pass-through capability, along with having 4K 60 frames per second capture with the capability also of VRR, which is variable refresh rate for those of you who don't know what that is. So think of it like this. So if a game or whatever you're capturing, say it has 60 frames per second, but it can go up to 120 frames or it can go up to 240 frames per second. That's really cool because you're going to get something that's more fluid and essentially more lifelike. But sometimes, especially when it comes to games, it struggles to maintain that level of consistency of that refresh rate. So sometimes it'll periodically dip, and then you'll get things like screen tearing and it just looks super choppy. But with VRR, basically it's a refresh rate that will adjust itself so smoothly and so seamlessly that you're not going to even notice. Well, unless you're a tech head like me, but for the average consumer, you're not going to notice. So for those of y'all who might think, oh, this is a bit too technical, this is way above my pay grade, just think of it like this. It essentially is giving you fluid, lifelike refresh rate. So when you're looking at it on your screen or your monitor, it's going to be just fluid. So VRR is a great thing, especially in something as small as this. So going back to the whole 4K 60 pass-through and recording capability, which yes, it can record at 4K 60 as well as 1440p, 144, and 1080p at 240, which is really impressive. What this does is it allows it to have continuous output to a television or a monitor directly from gaming consoles. Even when this capture card is connected to PC and is turned off, this still allows the console or connected device to be able to connect to your TV or monitor with uninterrupted gameplay visibility. The ease of installation of this is significantly an advantage that this has over a lot of other capture cards, as the Live Gamer Ultra S is compatible with various HDMI splitters. Now, I personally use, depending on my setup here at my desk, as well as my setup in my living room and my other setup in the other room, I typically use an HDMI 2.1 splitter so that I can, you know, maximize the capabilities of my PS5 Pros as well as my Xbox Series X's and my gaming laptop, which I can take from room to room. But all that being said, though, this device is compatible with those splitters. Remember when those splitters used to be super crazy expensive like a couple years ago? They're dirt cheap now. But yeah, so if you have multiple platforms and say you got a TV or a monitor that only has one port that allows you to do a higher refresh rate, get a splitter, connect this to it. That way you can play the game and you can also capture your footage at the same time without losing that quality. And all this allows the LiveGamer Ultra S to ensure a top-notch visual fidelity. It also includes HDR and VRR pass-through, which I was talking about earlier, the VRR, which is very, very important, especially in modern gaming. But also it has HDR support as well, so that's also phenomenal. That's something the original did not have that this one does have, and I'm very grateful that it does have that. All this combined allows for an enhanced visual experience with richer colors and smoother frame rates. Additionally, the device extends its versatility to ultra-wide displays. Now, I've got a couple ultra-wide monitors, as you can see, or you probably can't see because, well, I'm using a bokeh effect on this camera, but there is an ultra-wide behind me. This is an Alienware, I think this is a 34-inch ultra-wide at this setup behind me, and I also have an ultra-wide Asus monitor in my main station in my living room. And also I just did a review for a Acer Ultra, well, this is actually an Acer Predator gaming monitor, which is an ultra-wide, super thin, 34-inch, I think it's a WQHD or such. Well, I'll show the footage here on the screen, but I also have that, which I'm still working. I still get to keep it a little bit longer, but yeah. So I like to do ultra wide gaming, which primarily PC gaming is where I'm going to do that. And the fact is, I've always had a hard time when it came to capturing content for ultra wide, you know, when I do my ultra wide displays. But this right here is allowing me to not only capture my ultra wide displays, a 21:9 aspect ratio, but it also allows me to restructure it to an average 16:9 aspect ratio. So it's a win-win either way you go. Now, AVerMedia does have their own proprietary streaming software and recording software, which is, now look, I'm an AVerMedia partner. I occasionally will use this, but I'm personally more of an OBS or Streamlabs OBS kind of guy. I mean, XSplit if I'm really desperate. The software is there. I'm not gonna just say dump OBS and go into that and just use that. I mean, it's there, but it's also still not on the level of what OBS is. So yeah, it's cool, but I'm just keeping a buck a buck. You can read my face and your answers there. Now, I will say that there is a bonus and a benefit if you use the Streaming Center software, as this software not only allows for the capturing of VRR enhanced footage without any latency or screen tearing, but it also allows for the capture of the immersive 5.1 surround audio. But that's not going to be everyone. It's a cool feature to have. I mean, there is a plugin you can run into OBS, which is primarily what I do, but it's there if you want to use it. Now, is everyone going to use it? I don't know. It's not going to be my preferred go-to, but it's an option. The capture of multi-channel audio is supported exclusively on Windows, though. Both the Streaming Center and Streaming Center plugin, which is an OBS plugin, that's going to be exclusive to Windows. Now, I know there's a lot of you out here that have Macs and you're like, how come we don't have that? I don't know. I don't have an answer for you, but typically when it comes to streaming, people primarily utilize PC, not Apple or Mac. So there's that. And despite its small size, the device is very robust. It's measuring just at 4x43 inches by 2.6 inches by 1.02 inches. It's a highly portable device that's designed for easy transport, making it a suitable choice for creators who might need to capture or stream from multiple locations. Now, I gotta admit, one of the carryovers from the previous model is the inclusion of a built-in fan, which a lot of people may be wondering, well, why would you need that? I don't know if you've ever used a capture card before, but they tend to get pretty hot. And the fact that it does have a built-in fan means it's going to allow itself to regulate its own temperatures and keep itself cool. Granted, you should still be in an area that is well ventilated and also well cooled. But if you're like me out here in Hawaii, then you probably got multiple ACs hooked up just so you don't melt like a popsicle off the stick. Read into that what you will. But nonetheless, it allows it to stay cool. And I like that. Got to keep it cool, baby. I will say that AVerMedia, with the way that they've presented and packaged this, they ensure that everything that's needed to get started comes included with the LiveGamer Ultra S. The package contains all the necessary cables and straightforward HDMI setup that facilitates plug-and-play functionality. The device is compatible with various recording software platforms, including OBS Studio, XSplit, Streamlabs OBS, and also their own RE Central 4 and Streaming Center software, both of which they do feature user-friendly interfaces that simplify the capture and streaming process. But when you get up to a higher echelon of what you're doing, you're probably going to either go with OBS, Streamlabs OBS, or XSplit. That's just how it is. Now, speaking of the RE Central 4 and Streaming Center, they do offer customizable settings that can significantly influence the quality and file size of recorded content, along with preset configurations for different streaming services, making it easy to switch between platforms like Twitch and YouTube. However, to fully utilize the LiveGamer Ultra S does require specific hardware configurations. For instance, if you're on a desktop, then anything that's an Intel Core i5 6000 series or higher with NVIDIA GTX 1060 to 1070 or higher with at least 8 gigs of RAM will be sufficient. Now, if you're a laptop user, you're gonna need even more substantial specs, such as one of the latest Intel Core i5 processors or better, along with at least a GTX 1060 or higher, and a minimum of 8 gigs of RAM to handle the advanced recording settings and ensure smooth operation. Now, you might be wondering, is this device eco-friendly? I know, well, at this point, yes, it says it right there. It has what it says, green design, so it's right there prominently featured on the packaging. But we got to talk about it because sustainability is a very important thing, especially to someone like me who lives out here in Hawaii. So let's talk about it. This device is eco-friendly completely. It's constructed with post-consumer recyclable PCR plastics, which reduces waste and supports sustainable production practices. It's available in both black and white, and it matches high performance with environmental responsibility. And wrapping everything up, the AVerMedia LiveGamer Ultra S is an exemplary tool for serious content creators and streamers. It combines advanced video capture technology, ease of use, and a commitment to sustainability, making it a top-tier choice for enhancing gaming and streaming setups. And if you're like me and you're constantly looking for the latest and greatest tech, and also a capture card that just has the capability of just plugging in and going from there, pause no diddy, then this is the capture card for you. And with that being said, that's a review of the LiveGamer Ultra S. Huge shout out to AVerMedia for sending this over to me. If you want to pick this up, a link will be in the description as well as the first pinned comment on YouTube. But let me know what you guys think of this. Is this something you're considering picking up? Are there alternatives? Do you prefer other AVerMedia capture cards or even their competitors? Whatever your thoughts are, let's go ahead and get the conversation going in the comment section down below. And all that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay safe, be blessed, have aloha, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, and hui ho.